More than 100 years ago, massive, monstrous humanoids called Titans appeared out of nowhere on Earth. These terrifying creatures fed on humans whenever they could catch them. Humanity was no longer at the top of the food chain. Over time, as countless people were devoured, the human population plummeted. Despite their efforts, people couldn't figure out a way to defeat the Titans, leading to the collapse of many civilizations. In desperation, humans chose to sacrifice their freedom for safety. The survivors built enormous walls around their living areas to protect themselves. These walls were taller than the Titans and were designed as two layers: an inner wall and an outer wall for extra protection. So the area between the inner and outer walls was called the outer district, while the area inside the inner wall was the inner district. So within these fortified spaces, people lived in relative peace. However, the fear of Titans never fully disappeared. Even after 100 years, many still worried about the possibility of an attack. The story follows a young man named Eren Yeager who lives in the outer district. Eren dreams of breaking free from the walls to explore the world beyond. He often talks to his best friends, Armin and Mikasa, about the wonders of the outside world, like the vast oceans and endless lands. One day, Eren convinces his friends to go with him to the border and see the massive walls up close. When they get there, they are awe-struck by how high the walls truly are. While Eren is eager to climb over, Armin and Mikasa hesitate. They remind him that Titans might still be out there, even if no one has seen them for a century. Eren, however, believes the Titans have probably died off since they've had no humans to eat for so long. Their conversation is interrupted when Border Patrol officers arrive and accuse them of trespassing. The soldiers prepare to arrest the group, but Eren becomes furious and starts fighting back, even though he knows this could lead to his execution. Just as the situation escalates, Captain Suda steps in. He tells the soldiers to stand down, promising to handle the group himself. Aodasadi understands Eren's longing for freedom, but warns him against such reckless behavior, calling it childish. He also mentions that the government has been sending soldiers outside the walls to explore, so Eren doesn't need to take unnecessary risks. Suddenly, a deafening explosion shakes the area, followed by a powerful earthquake, so the ground trembles violently and everyone is startled. To their horror, they see a colossal Titan towering over the wall. The creature lets out a spine-chilling roar and begins kicking the wall with tremendous force. The soldiers watch helplessly as the massive Titan smashes through the wall, creating a massive breach before disappearing into a cloud of smoke. For a brief moment, there is silence. Then, through the breach, countless Titans begin pouring into the city. The soldiers fight back using cannonballs, but the Titans are almost impossible to stop. They regenerate quickly, healing from any wounds caused by the cannons. As the Titans advance, they begin grabbing and devouring the soldiers one by one. One soldier, overwhelmed by terror, chooses to take his own life rather than be eaten alive. Chaos erupts as people flee in every direction, trying to escape the carnage. Amid the chaos, Armin gets separated from Eren and Mikasa. Eren and Mikasa run toward the town church, where many people are seeking refuge. So on the way, Mikasa notices a young child lying on the ground, about to be trampled by the panicked crowd. She rushes to save the child, but ends up separated from Eren. Eren manages to get pulled into the church just before the doors are shut, leaving Mikasa outside. Trapped inside, Eren looks out of the church window in despair as he sees a terrifying female Titan approaching Mikasa. The Titan's jagged teeth make it clear she has no mercy. Realizing she can't escape, Mikasa lowers her head, ready to face her fate. But before the Titan can strike, a massive explosion erupts, shaking the ground and throwing everyone inside the church off their feet. When Eren looks out again, both Mikasa and the Titan have vanished. Desperate, Eren rushes outside, frantically searching for her. All he finds are the ruins of the once thriving city. As he turns back toward the church, Eren sees the horrifying sight of Titans ripping through the building, devouring everyone inside. With nowhere left to go, he wanders through the destroyed city, overwhelmed by despair and the loss of his home and loved ones. 2 years have passed since the last Titan attack. All the survivors from that event have relocated to the inner district. However, the situation there has grown dire. With the outer district abandoned, its fertile farmland is no longer accessible. The inner district is overcrowded with refugees, and food scarcity has become a serious problem. People are dying of starvation, and the military realizes they must reclaim the outer district to survive. Their only chance is to repair the damaged wall and drive out the Titans. The military is led by a strict but inspiring director named Kubil. During a crucial meeting, Kubil addresses the soldiers with a powerful speech to boost their morale. He introduces Hans, a brilliant weapons specialist who is responsible for the military's new gear. So Hans demonstrates a newly developed omnidirectional mobility gear, which is designed to help the soldiers fight Titans more effectively. Unfortunately, her demonstration goes wrong, and she accidentally attacks some of her own people. Among the crowd of soldiers, Eren and Armin are present. Both of them survived the attack 2 years ago, and have since joined the military. Sukiran, Eren, filled with rage, is determined to destroy the Titans as revenge for losing Mikasa, the woman he deeply cared for. Meanwhile, Captain Sauda, another survivor, has become a broken man. No longer an active soldier, he now works as a food distributor in the army and drowns his sorrows in alcohol. The military plans a risky operation to take back the outer district. They intend to strike at night when the Titans are believed to be dormant. The first step is to block the breach in the wall that allowed the Titans to invade. This will prevent any new Titans from entering the city, giving them a chance to eliminate the ones already inside. Hans instructs everyone to proceed cautiously and remain silent, since the Titans have an acute sense of hearing. So as the operation begins, the soldiers load into military vehicles vehicles and head toward the outer district, but their journey is interrupted when Captain Sauto orders the convoy to stop, sensing movement ahead. The soldiers nervously investigate and discover a herd of cows wandering through the ruins. Then, a soldier named Hyana hears the faint cry of a baby coming from a destroyed building. Ignoring the risks, she goes to investigate, with Eren following closely behind. The cries lead them deeper into the building until a slimy liquid drips onto Hyana from above. Looking up, they are horrified to see a massive baby-like titan devouring a human. The grotesque creature suddenly drops down in front of them, crying loudly. Overcome with fear, they flee back outside, but the noise has already alerted the titans. So the situation grows more chaotic as a giant hand suddenly appears and grabs Captain Suda. The titans have awoken, and the soldiers are now in grave danger. Eren and Hyana race back to the group, closely pursued by massive titans. The soldiers attempt to retreat to their vehicles, but Commander Kubel, realizing the peril, selfishly drives away with the remaining vehicles and weapons. Left stranded, Hands directs the soldiers to seek refuge in an abandoned building nearby. However, before they can reach it, they are surrounded by titans. Just as all hope seems lost, a highly skilled fighter appears. So does Shikashima, the captain of the scout regiment. Using his mobility gear, he soars through the air, striking the weak spot behind the titans' necks and killing them instantly. So female partner, equally skilled, assists him in the battle. As the titans fall, their massive bodies evaporate into the air. During the chaos, Eren catches a glimpse of Shikishima's partner and is stunned to see Mikasa. She is alive, but appears distant and indifferent toward him. Instead, she focuses on Shikishima, smiling warmly at him, leaving Eren shocked and confused. The two head into the building, followed by a group of soldiers. It's revealed that Commander Cabal has assigned Shikishima to assist with the mission. Shikishima once saved Mikasa's life and even trained her to fight the Titans. Since that day, they've worked together as partners, surviving in a dangerous world ruled by Titans. Mikasa has hardened due to her experiences and chooses not to associate with anyone from her past. Later, a soldier accuses Eren of drawing the Titans toward them earlier, putting everyone's lives at risk. The two argue fiercely, but Mikasa intervenes to stop them. Shikishima then approaches Eren, asking his name and asserting his authority by taking Eren aside for a private conversation. During their talk, Eren shares his desire to learn how to kill Titans, blaming the creatures for trapping humanity in their current state. Shikishima scoffs at Eren's words, stating that it wasn't the Titans but humanity's own fear and cowardice that caged them. He taunts Eren, calling him a coward. Eren, determined to prove himself, declares he isn't afraid, and Shikishima challenges him to confront his fears and fight for his freedom. Eren later looks for Mikasa and finds her sitting at a broken piano. He tries to reconnect with her, but Mikasa remains distant and cold. She explains how losing the baby she once cared for changed her completely. Mikasa reveals a bite mark on her body, showing the scars left behind by a Titan attack. Their moment is interrupted by Shikishima, who approaches and offers Mikasa an apple, showing his fondness for her. Heartbroken by Mikasa's indifference, Eren runs outside, screaming in despair. The person he cared for and hoped to protect is no longer the same. Just then, Hyana finds Eren and tries to console him. They go back inside the Ginsu, sharing a conversation. A giant eye appears at the window. A massive Titan grabs Hyana in its jaws and drags her away. Eren is horrified as he watches her get eaten. The building soon becomes surrounded by Titans. Shikishima, Mikasa, and the soldiers prepare for battle, using their gear to fight back. Shikishima and Mikasa manage to kill several Titans, but many of the inexperienced soldiers are injured in the chaos. Commander Kubel reminds everyone that the explosives are their most valuable weapon against the Titans and orders them to protect the supplies. Meanwhile, the couple from earlier is attacked, and the man is killed. Grieving the loss of her partner, the woman swears revenge against the Titan responsible. During the commotion, someone drives off in the vehicle carrying the explosives. Determined to make a difference, the woman who lost her lover climbs onto the vehicle and sacrifices herself, igniting the explosives to destroy the approaching Titans. She grabs the steering wheel and drives straight toward the Titan responsible for her lover's death. She crashes into the Titan, causing an explosion that blows its legs off. However, her attack fails because the Titan's legs quickly regenerate. It becomes clear that the only way to kill these creatures is by striking their weak spot. Meanwhile, Eren is still on top of a building, watching as others struggle against the Titans. Remembering Shikishima's advice from earlier, he uses his springs to launch himself into battle. At first, he struggles, but with Shikishima's guidance, manages to kill his first Titan. However, he loses balance immediately after and ends up flying straight into another Titan's mouth. The Titan bites off one of Eren's legs, but he manages to escape by leaping onto a nearby rooftop. As Armin tries to flee, a Titan catches him. The others rush to help, but the Titan is moments away from devouring him. Despite his pain, Eren drags himself to the building's edge, determined to save his friend. He jumps into the Titan's mouth, prying it open to stop it from swallowing Armin. While Armin is saved from the Titan's throat, Eren falls into its stomach instead. Inside, Eren finds himself surrounded by corpses, including Hyana's lifeless body. On another rooftop, Mikasa and the others watch helplessly as Armin informs Mikasa of Eren's death. Mikasa, unable to hide her grief, is deeply shaken by the news. Anger and despair fuel her as she launches into an attack, killing every Titan in her path. Unfortunately, Unfortunately, she runs out of fuel mid-fight, causing her to fall to the ground. The Titan that swallowed Eren earlier approaches her, ready to attack. Suddenly, a hand bursts out of the Titan's mouth, followed by a powerful explosion. A new Titan emerges from the creature's body. To everyone's shock, this new Titan starts killing other Titans, tearing them apart one by one. The surviving soldiers watch in amazement, slowly realizing that the new Titan is actually Eren. So after finishing off the other Titans, Eren's Titan form turns toward the building aggressively, showing no signs of recognition. Teensy has lost his memory and starts attacking everything in sight. The soldiers retreat in fear, but Mikasa stands her ground and calls out to him. Though Eren doesn't respond immediately, he grabs her and stares at her intently. Slowly, his memories return and he begins recognizing Mikasa. Moments later, Eren's Titan form collapses to the ground and starts evaporating like the other Titans. Mikasa slices open the weak spot on the back of the Titan's neck, allowing the human Eren to emerge from within. Shockingly, his leg has grown back, thanks to the Titan's regeneration abilities. With the final Titan gone, Eren regains consciousness, surrounded by the stunned and relieved soldiers. Subscribe for popcorn. We are racing towards 2,000 subscribers.